So come on, eBay. What are you going to do next? Hello? Anyone there? You waiting? Is anyone waiting? Well, there's some people waiting here.
Hi.
Hello? Anyone there? Hang on a second, what's this? There is a duck race later on.
I ate that duck. Now the favourite person of the show is here.
Say hello, cooks. Say hello.
Because we all know that's what people come for, don't they? They don't come to see us. They come to see the dog.
I think we need to go and get ready. So see you in a minute.
Bye!
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Cookie and the Haydens. I'm Car Boot Chris. This is Bargain Bell, my trusty sidekick. How you doing?
I'm perfectly fine! That was a really poor acting, wasn't it? It was a last minute thing.
I had that.
If I'd have thought ahead quicker than the last 5 minutes, I was going to put my arm in a sling and have everybody thinking that I'd had the operation done. But, ta-da! Yeah, so for anybody that has already asked, how is Belle? Because I've noticed a couple in the chat. Belle's perfectly fine. Long story short, I had my shoulder re-x-rayed last week for pre-surgery. And
Hang on, I got a spider here, babe. I need to get rid of that.
And amazingly, the calcification that was causing a problem in my shoulder and has done for the last 8 years has rectified itself. So, yeah, I had my surgery cancelled, which is fantastic news for me because it really was not a great time with everything that's going on with my sister to be out of action. So, yeah, I was absolutely over the moon because, like I said, I've had trouble with that. That's been there for 8 years. 8 years. And you know what? I can't confirm it.
Oh, you're still going on about this?
I was so excited about it, though. I can't confirm it, but I am convinced that the clean eating that me and Chris have been doing for the last 12 months and the cacao have helped my body to repair itself.
I think this deserves one of these.
This is my island in the sun.
Woohoo!
Anyway, so yeah, good news. Definitely good news.
We were so, it was not what I was expecting to come out of the X-ray appointment last week with anyway, but yeah, we're all good.
All good.
For now, anyway, we're all good. It may come back.
So tonight's show, I'm asking the question to eBay, what are you going to do next? And you'll find out what that is about in a little while. Also, I got a Vero today on eBay. And the GPSR thing is coming in very, very soon. So lots to talk about. If you've got any hot topics, put them in the chat. I'm looking up here because that is where my chat is. I can see all your little comments coming in. So if you have any hot topics to talk about this week in your world, in your reselling life, let me know and we will chat about it. Anything you like, eBay, Etsy, Vinted, Depop, whatever, Facebook Marketplace, eBay Gum, whatever you've got, bring it to the table. Stacey says, lovely to hear you got your shoulder sorted. Fully agree with the clean eating. I definitely think it's having an effect, but also
it's the only thing
we do the cacao thing.
We do, but those are the only two differences I've made in the last 12 months that could even have, and I'm saying 12 months because that's when we started doing it. But I had this x-rayed in middle of the year, March, April, May, sometime around there. And I had a massive calcification on my shoulder that's been there for years, that they found. But I was reading up on it. And if you were eating certain things, certain like vitamins and certain minerals, it helps your body to reabsorb calcium back into your body. So I think for once I've healed myself, which is a miracle in your 40s. Being able to fix anything.
True, that is true.
Question to Belle: what is your clean eating regime? You need to do a video about it. At the moment, not very good. And you'd think with that good news, we would be more prompted to get back on track. When I say clean eating, we eat everything fresh. We don't eat processed foods.
We try not to.
We try not.
Occasionally,
Yeah.
we treat ourselves. But
We're not keto. We don't do keto. We do low carb, low sugar, fresh food. Try not to buy anything processed that's got more than 5 ingredients in it. So when we buy meats and things like that, we make sure they're like 90+% meat with not much else in it, and just simple things like that, cutting out the crap, getting rid of all the processed stuff. But
apart from pick and mixes, I'm not dropping that.
But yeah, like I said, we don't do it. We haven't been doing it as well as we were doing with everything that's been going on, because it's really hard.
Just had too much.
It's really hard when you fresh cook everything and you don't buy things off a shelf, that when you're busy and there's stuff going on and you're not necessarily in the house, to not go and grab something. But it is still set in my mind. So when I do go out, I try to still pick something that's closer to the healthier eating than not.
Yeah.
So
the Dave says new channel idea for Belle, clean eating channel.
No, I'm not.
She's not dedicated enough for that, I don't think. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that like we do it like 90% of the time, but we treat ourselves.
It's not that I'm not dedicated to us doing it. There are people out there that are super passionate. We got into this because my sister's been doing it for 5 or 6 years. She is so knowledgeable on it. It is unreal what her knowledge is. That she digs and she delves and she finds out loads of stuff. She would be fantastic at doing a channel.
We did suggest to her that it could be an idea.
She could really. She now volunteers for the like national health, something to do with healthy eating. She's like an ambassador for them now, and does online courses, which is what I did last year. I only did it to support her. Emsdem did it with us, and we did an 8-week course. And seriously, the information that she gave me just made me not want to eat all the crap. And it's kind of stuck, hasn't it? So yeah, I'm not gonna be one of these that bangs on about it, but it's worth doing. And if this isn't proof, then what is?
What is? Dan's got a good name for your new channel. Babe.
Cutting out the crap.
That is a good
name.
I really like that, guys. Yeah, I really like that.
Well, I know Em's Dem.
You could do what Eddie does. You could do what Eddie does. Go around the supermarket with a GoPro on and just say,
"Wake the fuck up.
This is shit. This is shit." For anyone who didn't know what I'm talking about, Eddie Abu on Instagram. He might be on YouTube as well. I'm not sure, but we see him on Instagram. But he's one of these clean eaters, like really.
He's like
clean eaters.
He's like right at the far end of it. You know,
like meat and eggs, and that's it.
Yeah, but he is funny with it as well. But he also has a lot of really good information. But I do know that Emsdem have been doing it as well, and that they've found it really, really good. So says I post lots of pics of my cooking on Insta, Belle. Yeah, lots of people are interested in stuff like that, aren't they? But I'm not. I stick stuff on Facebook, like when I've been to a family event, but I'm not a massive social media person. I really don't. Yeah, it's just not me. Right,
you're going to say hello to as many people as possible.
Okay.
So that we've said hello to everybody. So if you want a shout out from Belle, get it in the chat now and we'll go through it. This is going to take you a bit of time, so you're going to have to be super quick. Okay, go.
Back.
Wonder who that is.
Pitco, Linlin Jeffries, Lost One, Helen, Karen Evans, Once Loved Treasures, Deborah Nardone, Richard Payne, Emsdem, Resell for Rescue, Hillary Rhodes, Nothing Major, Fluffy the Muffin, Brummy Time Lord, Kevin Hawthorne, Landmark Vinted, Dan.
She's on fire.
Richard Payne, Joan, AC Global Reselling, Dizzy J, Flipper Lee, The Dave, Paul and Julie, Peter Ray. Thanks for the Christmas card, Peter
Thank
Ray.
you, Peter. I appreciate that.
Sophie's Vintage and Thrift, Resell Anything, Lana, Laura. I can't remember if I said Lisa, but I'll say Lisa again. Sandra Parker, Alan Starbuck, Big Al. I'm running out of names now. Stacey, Flipping Wolf. Slow down because I've ran out of names. Paul French. ABL Reselling, James D, Santa Claus, J. I think I'm there thinking. Matt Wyatt, Ready Steady Retro, Chris Tyler, and I'm at the end.
I don't even know how you did that. I'm trying to catch up with these names.
I did that in exactly 2 minutes.
That is mental.
2 minutes.
How did you read through that?
And if I missed anybody, I apologise, but I don't think I did. Hello.
I'm still trying to catch up
Fluffy
here.
belly's on fire.
You did it in less than 2 minutes because the music's still going.
Well, it said 2010 on mine, so it could have almost been 2011. I've just seen there, Dan said, is Cookie okay? Cookie is still her usual self. She does still have her cough. And just to let you know, she's going for her next sort of investigation tomorrow. She's going up to Elmsmere Port to the Animal Trust to have a CT scan done on her head, throat and chest to see if it can bring anything up.
That's tomorrow that she's going for a CT.
She's had some really bad nights, hasn't she, over the last few days, a few nights. She's been really bad again and we don't know why. So this is going to be, I say this is going to be our final step, because if they don't find anything from this and they can't pin anything down, we're not going any further with it, because the next level is super, super, super expensive specialists, which we just can't go there. Not when she's perfectly healthy. The vets keep telling us she's perfectly healthy. It's just this cough that's more annoying than anything for everybody.
Yeah.
If they do find something and it's something that needs treating, then obviously we can look at that. We can look at it. But yeah, so fingers crossed. Got to be in Ellesmere Port for 8 a.m.
No, super early.
Super early to get up.
Flipping Wolf said, me and Stacey would like to do the same. If we can get some info for that course, it would be grateful. Can the course be watched back?
I can certainly ask my sister, because it was her presentation that she might be able to. It's
very, very interesting, by the way.
Yeah, it was like 12 months ago and it was done over Teams, because it was done because my sister works for Greater Manchester Police and she did it for Greater Manchester Police, and they just allowed outside people to come into the meetings. So I don't know, because of that, if those videos can be shared outside of the force. It's usually what happens with police. You can't generally share stuff outside. But she might still have some stuff that she can send me that I can email you, but I'll certainly ask her. That course, he didn't even watch it. He just listened to the rerun of me telling him.
Yeah.
But Emsden will tell you.
Some of it was interesting.
It was so interesting, and just some of the stuff that I found out from it in terms of how things are processed, how things are made. Literally, we just emptied our cupboards and some of the
stuff it told you about, and we won't go on about this too much because we're talking a lot about food and stuff, but some of the stuff where it tells you about how it's made and stuff, it's like it's not even fit for human consumption. Some of the everyday things that we eat is not fit for human consumption. It's terrible. And just when they go down the lines of the crossovers between how our eating has gone more processed and how our health has declined and how different, it's created more bigger problems with our health and stuff like that. It was super interesting, and it was enough to get our brains going to stop eating the way we were eating. Definitely. Okay, right. Chris says, did you see that sinkhole that appeared in Wales anywhere? I saw a picture of it. Yeah, where is it? I don't know where it is. It's not near us. I don't think it's near here. Yeah. But yeah, I saw it.
But I
that.
hope it's not, because
No.
yeah, we've not had any warning. No, it's not near us, and Andrew lives near us now as well. So
Flippin' Wolf said, interesting one. I posted an item out tracked 48. It was classified as delivered. They opened the case up against because the postman left it in the bin and it went missing. Well, you're covered on that one anyway, Scott. Just eBay will cover you on that. If it's tracked and it shows delivered, eBay back you 100%. Never had a problem when that happens. So don't bother causing an issue. Just let the process go through and eBay will back you.
Why didn't you tell me that then last year?
When
I had Eric's advent calendar delivered to Lizzie and they left it in the paper bin the day the paper bin was being emptied and then it got taken. I didn't know I could open a thing.
That wasn't eBay, though.
It was from eBay.
Oh, I thought it was.
I thought that was my fault because they'd put it in the thingy. So I bought a second one.
No, as the sender. You weren't the sender.
No, it was the buyer. So,
Yeah.
but could I have opened a case?
You probably could have opened it with eBay, and eBay might have refunded you. But as the sender, if I send an advent calendar and it gets put in a bin and it gets wrecked,
right.
it's not on me.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that happened to me last year. I ordered.
It's happened to all of us.
I ordered an advent calendar for little Eric, and they put it in the paper bin the day that paper bin was being emptied, and it got taken away.
There's a huge stink hole between Scotland and Wales.
Blah.
There's nothing you can do about it, Scott. You just gotta let eBay resolve it because that's the process, and that's all you got to tell them. I wouldn't keep replying to them.
Just gonna get. Do you have the McRib in the UK? We have had the McRib in the UK. I don't know if it's.
I don't know if it's.
Do you know what? That's one of the things we haven't ate at McDonald's for a very long time.
Now and again, we might have a breakfast or a cheeseburger or something.
Not very often.
I think the last time I had McDonald's, I was with Stephen Lana when we went to a boot sale at Runcorn. It must have been 2 months ago. That was the last McDonald's I had.
I haven't had one.
I don't have it often. I'm not preaching or anything. It's just a personal choice that we're making, and I definitely think it's helped us health wise.
It certainly helped me because, and you guys will notice this, and I know you're going to say I've been MIA recently with what's been going on with my sister, but how many times do you hear me not being on the show now because I'm too tired or I'm in bed or I'm having a bad day? It doesn't happen as often anymore. Since we've been doing this, my ME and fibromyalgia have definitely improved as well. Yeah,
it's not gone, but it's
not gone. I still have bad days and I still struggle, but I don't end up bedbound as often as I used to do. So there's definitely something in there for that.
Yeah, McSteve is the only reason that Lana goes to McDonald's. Right, let me go back through some starred comments. Don't forget to get your hot topics in of the week. What are you thinking about in your reselling world? What's going on? What's the big news for you? Have you had any good things, any bad things go on with reselling? Let us know and we'll talk about it. Resell Anything reckons fee freeze for all in the new year. That's interesting, yeah. I hope so. The only thing is, there is a flip side to that. Somebody has to pay these fees and somebody has to pay the postage and all that. And if they go down the route of vinted, then it will be the buyer. Now, the issue that could come with that is it's be careful what you wish for, because what happens if our buyers start deciding that the prices are too expensive because they've got to pay postage and fees? And maybe people will start lowballing even more than they do already. So there's going to be two flip sides. There's going to be two sides to this, potentially. And that's what the kind of topic is for tonight. It is eBay. What is your next move? And I was specifically not referring to the GPSR thing, but we will talk about that. I was specifically referring to fees, business sellers. What's going to happen in 2025? What do you reckon eBay are going to go with? My personal gut instinct is that they will extend. I reckon they'll extend the clothing free fees. I think they'll extend that a bit longer I'm not sure if they'll come out with a solid, like no fees for business sellers. I'm not sure if they'll do it straight up. Maybe they'll open up another category with no fees, just to test the water. But I do feel like this end of December deadline they gave you on clothing for business sellers, I don't think that's going to be the end of it. Let's see what happens. We're waiting for eBay to tell us what's going to happen.
I'm just laughing then because I've lost it. Fluffy said it was a crafty plan to get the Christmas decks up. Do you know what? That was my one thing where I was like, not pissed off, but a little bit like, because I'd spent 3 days, my 3 rest days, hammering getting stuff done, that thinking that I wasn't going to be able to do anything. So I've wrapped all the Christmas presents, I've brought all the Christmas cards, I'd got the decorations up, I'd done stuff in the house, I'd got all the washing done. Literally, I was knackered, and for no reason, because I'm not having it done.
Oh, well, it's done, isn't it?
It is.
Santa says, Santa's answered my question that's pinned to the top of the chat, by the way. If any of you want to chip in with your answer, then please do. I'm interested to know. My question was, which podcast did you like the best and why? And Santa says, my favourite episode of the Everything Reselling podcast was the very first episode with Paul and Marie Emsden. They're such a lovely couple and seem very down to earth and funny. My kind of people. There you go. So Santa's come in with his favourite.
I'm just looking at what you've got starred and then what's on here. So we've got Limelight Vinty asked a question and said, do you have any tips on how to encourage buyers to leave you feedback?
Oh, I don't encourage. I don't do it either way. I wouldn't nudge people to leave feedback for one reason: is it don't poke the bear. If they want to leave feedback, they'll leave it. eBay do remind you. I had a reminder last week that I had like 10 feedbacks to leave, and I actually went click through and I left the feedbacks because obviously I'm a seller. I appreciate that feedback is good. And I left the feedbacks, but I always say don't poke the bear, don't ask for feedback. Sometimes it pisses people off when you ask for feedback, especially if they've not had a good experience.
Well, I was going to say they might not be leaving it for a reason.
Yeah. Oi!
What's she doing?
Get off!
She likes ET. It's cozy. she's trying to sit on ET.
Trying to hump ET, and she's a girl.
She's not humping it.
Big Owl says, I hope all of you have kept the exclude Northern Ireland off because I'm being told eBay aren't going to enforce it as much as they say. I've not touched anything, Al, on this. I don't see why you would want to turn it off just yet anyway, until we know for sure what's going on with the GPSR thing. Certainly you don't have to take any action until eBay say you must take action. So other than that, leave it be. So yeah, I'm still selling to Northern Ireland. I've sold a few this week to Northern Ireland.
Just looking down there, Chris Tyler said sometimes buyers leave feedback months later.
There is a time limit on it though on eBay. I don't know what the time limit is.
Sophie's
but there is.
Vintage and Thrift says they've moved to a storage unit today, getting
I've seen
their
it.
flat back.
I've seen it.
Well done.
Dan says, does anyone know why a parcel we sent to a customer went from Blackpool to Southampton, then sat in a warehouse down there for a few days? It's going to Chorley. I don't know. It's probably just been redirected onto the wrong route, Dan, and now it's going to have to be redirected back. These companies go in weird routes, don't they? So I won't worry about it as long as it gets there in the end, I guess. Let me get back to the chat.
James D said, great to see Bell didn't go through the op after all. I know, it's fantastic. I believe Nick Hurls has a video on GPSR out this week, though why eBay aren't publicising anything about it is a question.
It's weird, isn't it? How we've not really heard anything. They've not updated their GPSR help pages with any other information that's of use to us. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It seems very odd. Shane says, every day you're feeling good is a win.
Do you know what it is? And for anybody out there, because I know we've got a few people that follow us that have like chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia and stuff like that, and you'll know pacing is one of the worst things if you're an active person. Pacing is so difficult. So when you have a good day, you're in danger of overdoing it and then having a bad day, which is when you sort of have these ups and downs. But that's something over the years I've had it, I've learned to manage a little bit better, isn't it? So that with the clean eating, definitely helping.
Dan says, we started our eBay journey in July this year with no experience of working together or giving eBay a good go. Tonight we reached 1,000 listings. It's gone better than we expected. Keeping busy is good. That's good, Dan. Well done. That's really good. 1,000 listings since July. That's good. As of course, you're making sales as well in that period. So your listings are going down and then you're going back up again. So that's really good. Well done.
Oh, Santa said before, my favourite episode of your Everything Reselling podcast was the very first episode with Paul and Marie Emsden. They're such a lovely couple and seem so down to earth and funny, my kind of people. We are proud to say I'm way back, Santa.
I've already read that. I read that whole sentence out.
When?
Literally about 5 minutes ago.
When?
I put it on screen and I read the whole thing out. Where were you at that point?
Well, if I'm talking about,
was you up in the clouds?
If I'm talking about something else and I'm not paying attention to what you're doing on the screen, so be patient and wait.
How can you be talking about something else when I literally read the whole thing out?
Be patient.
What is going on up here?
But I can honestly say we're proud to say.
Is it the Perry?
We're proud to say we've met Emsden in person, and they truly are just such nice people. They welcomed us into their home and showed us around, and they were absolutely lovely. And their daughter is beautiful too. So yeah.
Reseller Jaws says, Jaws. Reseller Jaws, that's your new name. More sales, please.
Did you read the one out?
I hope you get some more.
Did you read the one with Joan saying that her partner's a nutritional therapist?
No.
Can I read that one?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
So Joan said her partner is a nutritional therapist and says, well done, 90% is good.
Yeah. I mean, most percentages are made up, but I'm guessing 85, 90.
We do. We just have the odd snack when we're feeling like it. That's the difference.
Once Love says, my mum suffers with ME fibromyalgia and has done for 25 years, but she changed her diet and doesn't struggle so much now.
Seriously?
I definitely think there's something in it.
Yeah, I've had it for 13, 14 years, and this is the best I've been.
It's definitely the best.
I'm still limited.
Can't go on a run. No, you can't.
I can't go on a run. I can't start going to the gym. I can't do all the stuff I used to do, but I can do my day to day without ending up in bed.
Yeah, and that is a win. If you'd have seen Belle like 5 years ago,
I was in bed a lot.
She'd finish work and literally go to bed. And
if I wanted to spend an evening with Chris, I literally had to come home from work and get into bed for 2 to 3 hours just so I could spend an evening with him and then go back to work the next day.
Yeah. And if you'd had a few really busy days, you'd spend an entire day in bed.
Yeah. I spent a lot of my days off just doing nothing and resting. Yeah. So the fact that I can combine and do stuff now, it's great.
ABL Dave says German Mackies are the best. I think I've been to a German McDonald's, but I don't remember it being any better than any others. I think they're all. Even when you go to the States, the Mackies are exactly the same as UK. You immediately think, oh yeah, you go to the US and you get these big, massive portions. I don't think.
No, they're the same.
It was exactly the same. Last time I went to Florida and we had a Mackies, which is not very often, to be fair. It was about 5 years ago, that one.
Do you remember when we did the opposite and we were doing the coastal route down to LA and we stopped at that McDonald's? Do you remember we got them chips? And I'm not kidding you. They were in a packet. I had about 5 chips in it.
Oh, yeah.
That was about this big. It was tiny. That was in America.
Yeah. You automatically think in the States you're going to get bigger portions. You don't. Yeah. Not that we've found in Mackies. They're all the same. I think it's just standard portions. Reseller Jaws says, Jaws again. Right, that's it.
You called Jaws.
Jaws, you've got to change your name. From now on, he's Jaws. Fees, they may split fees to minimal amounts on both buyer and seller, and then over the years slowly increase. Who knows, George? I don't know. I don't reckon they'll do that, but you could be right. I'm just guessing. I feel like it would be a bit of a half-hearted attempt at making a change if they did that. I think they'll go one way or the other. Stick or twist. That's what I say.
Did you see Emsdram's comment earlier saying they don't get heartburn anymore?
Really?
That is the first. That's one of the things we've noticed, and it's the first thing we notice when we have a cheat.
Yeah.
If we have a cheat,
Heartburn.
we're back to the tums. Literally, as soon as we've ate it, we're back at the tums. But when we're not, when we're being good, it's great.
Dan says, I have ME and chronic fatigue. eBay has been the best thing for me. Yes, I get tired, but I'm so busy running a business, I don't nap in the afternoon now.
Yeah, it's good when you can find something that motivates you to do it. This is why Chris was so eager to get me into eBay, thinking it.
I wouldn't say eager. I say that it's always an option.
Yeah, it's an option. It's an option for if I can no longer work. Then it's an option.
Hopefully we never come to that point. And hopefully if you do come in and do the eBay business with me, it's because it's a choice, not forced to.
Yeah,
Soph says, I feel they may extend. I think they'll extend, but it's just guesswork. And I guess it depends what their stats say, what their their traffic says, what their sales are saying. Is it saying that it's working? If it is, then I reckon they'll extend it.
Oh, Lana says that. What's she say? Or if I was off work, I'd get to see you tomorrow. That's Marvel's Vets. Is Marvel at the Vets tomorrow as well?
No, she's saying that the Animal Trust in Elmsmere Port is the.
Yeah, but she was saying if I was off work,
she's not
I'd
off
get
tomorrow.
To see
she's
you.
Working.
Oh right, okay. I don't know. That's what she's saying.
I read it and I got it straight away.
Makes a change.
Super Noodle says, do eBay usually have a yearly big update? It's my first year selling on there. eBay do like quarterly updates, so I don't recall them giving us a big yearly update. I might be wrong on that. If anyone in the chat can remember a yearly update, I don't recall one. They seem to just give seller updates every quarter or whenever, whenever there's something to announce. I might be wrong on that, but I don't recall. Scott says, I've noticed a trend of items being sold cheaper than value on eBay by a lot, and I've had to adjust some of my prices dramatically. Okay, that's interesting. So people selling stuff cheaper. I think something like that could be coming from sellers moving from Vinted to eBay. I've seen a lot of chat in the Vinted Facebook groups. I'm in one particular group, which is a rants group. And obviously you're going to see a lot of negativity in that group. And a lot of people are quitting Vinted now to go to eBay because of the free fees. And because they're getting very frustrated with Vinted, their lack of customer service and their lack of backup with this buyer protection that you pay for, which actually a lot of the times you don't get backed up on. I mean, to be fair, I've had a couple of occasions where I've had to rely on the buyer protection with Vinted because stuff has arrived damaged or lost or whatever, and they've always backed me up. But I'm reading a lot of people are struggling with the buyer protection, and people are defecting away from Vinted now. It's going the opposite way than it was a few months ago, back to eBay. So potentially, maybe people are coming back to eBay, listing their stuff that they would have put quite cheap on Vinted, putting it on eBay, and therefore undercutting a lot of us because they don't need the money as much as potentially what us as a business do. I don't know if that came across right or not, but you know what I mean? Like, people on Vinted are generally selling stuff cheaper than eBay. So they're bringing that same price over to eBay. That's what I think is happening there, Scott. Could be a load of tosh, really.
Dan says Vinted and eBay competing is great news for us. It will hopefully mean no fees on both platforms next year.
And yeah, Dan, I think that's where it's heading. There's only one thing that would stop that happening on eBay, I think, and that is a Vinted crash. Like if Vinted suddenly started losing its sellers, buyers, whatever, or they started losing market share or whatever, then eBay might not do it. They might say, well, we don't need to. Why do we need to? Because we're still the best. We've proven we're the best. People are coming back to us from Vinted. Maybe they'll decide they don't need to do it.
Wansel says, I'm going to be away in January and back in early February, so I'll wait and see how eBay is then, and hopefully things will be a bit clearer.
Yeah, I reckon we'll have some answers by
then. Chris says, sometimes buyers leave... Oh, yeah, we already did that one.
Yeah.
ABL says, on the feedback topic, I always send a thank you postcard with all my orders. It makes a significant positive difference to my feedback receipts.
There you go. I always send one of my cards in mine.
Flipping Wolf says, thanks for a reminder, I've got 80 feedbacks.
I haven't got one to hand.
Santa said, question, how was Belle finished wrapping the Christmas presents already? The elves hadn't even finished making half of them yet. What can I say? I'm just the best elf in town. Even though Chris keeps complaining that elves are using the shower.
I know. Every time I go into the shower, this is what happens. I go into the shower and I shout out to Belle, Warwick Davis has been using the shower again, babe. Because it's down here. So every time I go in the shower, I have to unscrew it and push it up to the top like normal. Why don't you just leave it at the top?
Because it's too high.
Well, if it's at the top, you get like a rainfall effect.
I don't want a rainfall effect.
Oh,
the dilemmas of having a short partner.
Big Al says, eBay have told me that there are reasons why they're not talking. I assume that's regards to GPSR thing. Interesting.
But then Lisa said last month it was plastered all over a seller hub. This month, nothing.
But they haven't changed anything in their guidance. They haven't changed anything. It's all exactly the same. And not that I'm aware anyway. I do occasionally have a look in to see if they've like changed the wording or changed whatever, but everything seems the same to me. Big Al also gives us an update on GPSR here. Regarding GPSR, they can't enforce it due to its variances of issues. They have more or less dead walked into this issue and started something they cannot enforce. And that's why they aren't enforcing it. Interesting. Interesting. We did kind of, I think at the start of this whole thing with the GPSR, I'm pretty sure at one of the eBay opens, I'm sure they are quoted as saying that they're not going to enforce it. I don't know who told us that, but I'm pretty sure at one of the eBay opens, they did say that to the audience. Maybe somebody who went can let us know if that is the case or not. I'm not changing nothing until they tell me I've got to.
Janie View says, Guzzy and I agree. Paul and Marie are a lovely couple. Marie gives great hugs. She does, bless. Flipping Wolf said, Reseller Jaws is actually a quick
It is,
name.
isn't it? It is. And George can have that name for a very small royalty fee.
Emsden, thank you so much, guys. That's very kind of you. So nice to meet you and can't wait for a catch up. Neither can we. We can't wait to see you down our neck of the woods.
Up
our neck of the woods. Big Al said it's also an issue with the levelling up program for NI, is that?
Northern Ireland.
And by enabling the rest of the UK to turn it off, Northern Ireland is in breach of Article
I saw that
2.
video, Al. I saw that video that you did where you made a phone call to. I've not seen any follow up though yet. So, yeah, thanks for sharing it though. I really hope it gets sorted. I don't want to stop sending to Northern Ireland or Europe. No way. I mean, my orders using GSP going to Northern Ireland and Europe are not insignificant. It's not my biggest area, but it's still several hundreds. It's still probably in the thousands when it comes to a 90-day total. So it's not insignificant. I don't want to lose those sales.
Chris Greaves says food is expensive in the States. Depends if you know where to look. We always eat at the cheap and cheerful places just like we do in the UK. So depending where you go, it's not so bad.
Married to Reselling have raised something here. They said, aren't they hiding listings from the 13th of December, though? Their way of enforcing it. And Big Al has said, no, they've been told that they don't know how to enforce it.
Lisa said that's what she was told on a live chat as well.
What?
Same as Married to Reselling.
What, that they're going to hide them?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, I don't envy Al at all in Northern Ireland. I think it's very, very unfair, and he's got a real point there that it's blocking trade, and he's part of the UK as well. So it's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not fair.
Once says we were in McDonald's in California, couldn't get a vegetarian option. There was a bigger range of things, but it wasn't as good as the ones here. I think the one thing that I would like to see in the UK with McDonald's that we don't have, and it's mainly Europe, is the McCafes.
Yeah, more McCafes.
I really would like to see the McCafes over here because they're quite good in Europe.
Farming Insights TV. Thank you for
Hi.
joining us. How are sales looking? Mine are dead completely. Not too bad, to be fair. Farming Insights. I've had a good few weeks.
No traffic, nothing, they said.
On a daily basis, it can be very up and down, but when you look at it from a week's point of view, it's been fairly consistent the last few weeks. This week, probably slightly less than the last couple, but I think generally it's been fairly good. But are you being consistent in your listing? Are you getting stuff on? Are you working as hard as you can on your eBays? I don't know if you're full-time, part-time, or whatever, but are you doing everything that you can to keep your eBay active?
Dan says he loves working from home with his partner, but he's on his third verbal warning now. Hi, Night's Life. Big Al says, I'm doing one new video this week on GPSR and GPS deregs and equality acts. It's a big update to GPSR. I've been interviewed by the BBC about it twice. Ooh. Lisa, I think if they do the free fees, they up the minimum promotion rate. Maybe
they'll up it to like 3% or 4%. Maybe. I mean, I do more than that anyway, so it won't affect me, but it'll affect all the 2%ers.
Phil Higginson says, I claim my complete savings money monthly bonus from a different vendor than I signed up with, and it got approved. Never thought you could do that.
I've had ones turned down before for that, so you're lucky that one's probably gone through the net.
Antoinette Daly is with us. Hi, Antoinette.
Lana says, yes, I meant I would have asked you for a brew.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks for confirming. Now that was my menopausal brain not working.
Pitco said, I've never had any luck on Vinted or Depop, etc. Come the new year, they're being dropped. I've dropped Depop already. I'm not dropping Vinted just yet. It's very quiet though. I'm struggling to get sales through on Vinted at the moment.
Dan says, I've noticed if you like an item on Vinted, you are bombarded with messages to buy it at a lower price. I don't bombard.
But you do that, don't you?
I don't bombard. When somebody likes an item the day afterwards, I just send them one offer of a lower price. That's it. Nothing else. I don't message them. I don't do anything. I literally just send them a lower offer. And if they take it, they take it. If they don't, so what? I've offered them a lower price. But that's it. I don't bombard them.
Scott's got an example of what he was talking about earlier. I had a Monopoly game that regularly sells for £30, and you will see about 7 or so listed at value, then 2 or 3 listed at like £10. Lots of examples of this. The thing is, Scott, with stuff like that does happen. But what I do is I just think, well, the £10 ones will sell super quick, and then you'll be left with the market value ones. So I don't worry too much when I see that. I just list at a price that I think is fair, and I just think to myself, well, when those cheap ones have gone, people start looking at mine, and of course, more cheap ones can come along, but at some point, those cheap ones will sell, and yours will be the ones left.
One stuff says I got a bargain on Vinted rolling camera case worth £350 for £80, brand new with tags, real tags too, not like those Ed Hardy ones.
Night's Life is. Have we seen Night's Life already?
Yeah, so hi. Richard Payne said, on a £150 sale, the fee is approximately £28. Not sure how that could be passed on to the buyer unless eBay were prepared to take a hit on profit. Where's the shortfall coming from?
Exactly. Yeah, where is the shortfall coming from? Someone's got to pay for it, because eBay will not want to lose the profits that they're making. They won't want to take a dip in profits, that's for sure. So where are they going to claw back this money from? Because like Richard says, it's a very valid point. The fees, £28. That's not, I mean, if you buy something for £150 on Vinted, you don't pay a £28 fee. So what do you pay? You'd probably pay about £8 or £9 on Vinted, wouldn't you, in a fee for something of that price, and plus the postage. So I don't know. Is the answer to that.
Sophie said that would be me in the shower, as in on Belle's side.
Yeah.
No, short girls have to stick together, don't we? Thomas Matthews has joined us. He said, I bought something off Vinted the other week and the seller put a present in my order, a diet low-calorie protein bar. What are they trying to say?
What a random thing to put in.
Do you know what? They're probably looking for that protein bar at home and not having a clue where they put it.
Steve says the same to me. Chris, you can use cookie shower.
Yeah, you go use cookie shower.
Yeah, but cookie shower's down here.
Richard Payne said if went down the vintage route of no fees across the board.
Yeah, I know what you were saying. Yeah, it's an interesting point.
AC Global says Belle will work for Santa before you, Chris. No questions asked. Oh, Jeff says you have to make 1 or 2 small sacrifices to be married to an angel like Belle Carboot, Chris. Thanks, Santa.
What do you want? James says eBay may charge higher fees in comparison to Vinted, but that pays towards the customer service the others lack. Doubt that they will cut fees completely, but may adjust in some way. Oh yeah, that's a point as well. Like, I reckon that if, and it's a big if, eBay decided to go 0 fees for all sellers, I think business sellers will still be charged a shop fee. I think they'll still claim the money back with that. Maybe our shop fees will go up. So maybe like for those of us paying like 90 quid for a middle store, you could see a significant hike in your store fees. So maybe it could go up like double. Maybe it could be like £150 a month. But in return, you get no fees. And I think that would be one way for sure of them claiming back some of the money lost.
Dan said they had their first customer from Hungary and Greece this week. What percentage of your sales are abroad?
More than you might think, to be honest. I do send a lot via GSP, and even with the expensive postage, I'd probably say like about 15%. Like between 1 and 2 out of every 10 orders probably goes abroad. Maybe 10 to 15, 10-15%, something like that.
Pitco says I don't see how they can police it. It would take a lot of resources to try and police it.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Kez TV. They think they forgot to enter the duck race.
Well, you've only got yourself to blame, Kez.
Sophie's Vintage says, I'm not too sure about the theory either. GPSR, that theory either. I was doing drop shipping before and had to comply with all those rules, which is why I stopped. I don't see how eBay can get around it. AFY, I don't know if it's just AFY. Hi, can you sell brand new items on eBay, or does that come under commercial selling? I've had this issue with Vinted.
No, you can definitely sell brand new. You can, yeah, absolutely can sell brand new items. Just search for an item that you want to sell and put and narrow it down to brand new. Yeah, of course you can, absolutely.
AC Global says eBay will start running more adverts on sites. That's how most social media get their revenue. They already advertise other companies' shops on our listings, which really annoys me.
Yeah.
Paul Rose has joined us. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Welcome.
Hi, Chris and Belle. Long time. No message, but still watching where I can. Well, thank you. Thank you for still supporting us.
Big Al says his sales are up the last 2 weeks by about 30%, but dropping this week. Yeah, because I mean, your Big Al's got a much bigger e-commerce than I have, but this last sort of week period for me is the busiest point of Q4. The Black Friday week, the end of November, first part of December for me is the biggest period. So unfortunately, if you're not making the sales in the last sort of 10 days to now, that should be your biggest period, I think. I mean, there's always more people who are going to buy sort of into December, but I think this last week to 10 days is probably the biggest period.
Flipping Wolf says, Chris, your advice on promoted listing worked like a dream. 34 sales last week, 650 plus. Probably low for a lot of people, but very high for me. That's fantastic.
That's good. That's brilliant.
I noticed tweaking the description and pictures also worked.
Good. Excellent. I'm glad it worked for you.
Lisa says she goes through spells on Vinted, nothing, then everything close together. It sounds a bit like mine, that.
Yeah.
Sophie's Vintage says they send an offer straight away.
I do the same.
That's it.
I do the same.
AC Global says, surely that's just the same as sending offers to watchers on eBay.
Yeah. Big Al said I sold all my Monopoly games for 19 quid each. We had 20 in stock, all sold last week. Nice.
Everybody likes a Monopoly at Christmas, don't they?
Yeah. Well, apart from me.
Resell Anything says, did you have an update on the Ed Hardys?
The Ed Hardys are still sat behind me there in a big box. I have emailed the company. They got back to me straight away and said they'd passed it on to the relevant department or whatever to deal with it. So I'm waiting for a response from them. If I haven't had one tomorrow, I'm going to recontact them again.
Dan says, are you happy with how your eBay went last year?
Yeah.
This year, not last year. This year.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. To be fair, I'm okay. I think I'm probably roughly the same as last year.
Our head.
Yeah,
that speaks volumes. We still have a roof over our head, and we've still been on 3 holidays this year. And we still had 3 holidays this year, so we're
okay.
We're smashing it. We're smashing life.
Smashing it.
We're smashing it in our category for what we want in life.
We're smashing it for, exactly for
what we want in our little box.
I don't have a desire to be a multi-millionaire eBay billionaire or whatever.
If it happened overnight from the lottery, we wouldn't complain.
I'll take it.
But he doesn't want to work.
I don't want to work for it.
To get it.
I'm 46. I don't want to work my arse off for a few quid. No thanks.
Kez says,
I'm lazy.
Kez says, Vinted. I list a couple of something higher. Oh, I list a couple of quid higher and send maximum number of offers each day. Think it's easy to miss messages and notifications on Vinted because they all get jumbled up with each other.
Yeah, the message system on Vinted. There's so many things Vinted could do better. I mean, it's a good platform, but there's so many things they could make easier. And the messaging system is absolute trash. It's terrible. Things get lost so easily.
Lisa said, I had the same issue with some Ed Hardy hoodies bought off Whatnot seller, said new with tags, got 4 of them and 2 came without tags, got my money back for them.
Don't blame you. Didn't they show it though, Lisa? Didn't they show it on screen and like show you new with tags? I would have thought they would have done that.
Jake said, what's the best ever item you have bought on a car boot? We still haven't. It's the same story over and over again because we've still not beat it.
There's been a few, and what have we? I still like the one that you spotted. I still like the USA Olympic podium jacket, Nike podium jacket, like a fully silver reflective jacket. Still love that.
I think it's because it was such an unusual item. It shouldn't have even been in the UK. I don't think.
And I think the other unusual thing about that item is it was still hanging on the back of a car at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they only wanted 4 quid for it. I think it was 4 quid, and it had been there all morning and nobody had picked it up, and it was worth, well, if it didn't have a small mark in it, it was worth about 500 quid. I think I sold it for like 250, 300 pounds. But yeah, it's still one of my favorites. That
but we haven't. That's because we haven't had another massively noticeable purchase where we flipped it like that, have we? Big Al says eBay won't do free fees. There isn't a chance of them losing money. I've been with them 23 years and all their policies that they have done over the years were about them ultimately making profit for themselves.
I honestly think that we could see 0 fees, but when I say 0 fees, I don't mean no fees whatsoever. I'm just talking about final value listing fees. I think businesses will still get hit in other ways. I think businesses, especially, like I said before, I think our shop fees, if that happens, our shop fees will be completely revamped. We'll see a completely new structure and we'll be paying more money for the fact that we don't have final value fees and listing fees and stuff. So, yeah, I think they will obviously claw it back because their shareholders will not want to lose money.
Flipping Wolf said eBay would be hoping private sellers keep their money in the pot. They can make interest on it, possibly, and it encourages people to spend more.
That's true. Hidden ways of making money.
Yeah. Chris Tyler says, can you imagine putting free sweets into a clothing order and it melting, splitting onto the item? That's something that would happen with me.
Still got the van, Thomas. Still got the van. No further on with it. I've listed it on Auto Trader at the moment, but we're right in the middle of winter now, aren't we? So it's going to be a tough sell at this time of year.
Yeah, probably going to be looking at spring, but it's fine.
I am considering another option, and we've had a chat with Belle about it. I am considering whether to keep the van and like incorporate it into the business and rent it. make it a rental van. I'm seriously considering it. Like if no buyers come forth sort of by spring, I might do that. I might like effectively sell it to the business, and then the business will rent it out and you know, try and make an income from it. But I will have to detach myself from it if we do that. I think we had this conversation before. Like if you were going to rent it out, it wouldn't be my van anymore. It would just be an asset that makes money from my business, and that is something that I'm considering, because I've looked at a couple of sites, got a couple of quotes on how prices work, and like Campify and stuff like that. You can put them on there. They take 10% of your rental. You can do the insurance through them as well. But for like my van, I could potentially get £100 a night for it. For a long weekend, 400 quid. I mean, that's what it cost us when we rented out a VW. It cost us £400 for a weekend.
Resell anything's a good money in renting campers.
So it's I don't really want to do it because I don't want the hassle of it, but I think that it could be an option.
Flipping more said that's genius, Chris, and you make a lot of money doing it.
It's not genius, but I'm just trying to think of another way to do it.
AC Global says, whenever you see a lot of brand new tag items from the same brand around all the sellers, that rings alarm bells to me. I've bought Nike dead stock and it was 100% fake, being made in Eastern Bloc with old tags.
Oh, where'd you get all that from, AC? Do it. Married to Reselling says do it the other way around. Stop the shop subs, but keep the fees. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do, guys? I don't know. We can't second guess it, can we?
Once Love says, my mum bought some cosmetics on eBay, but the seller sent the wrong stuff. They then told her not to do anything, eBay return, but instead reseal the envelope and write return to sender.
Okay. The thing is, you do something like that, you risk it never coming back.
Yeah. Yes, once Love said, sounded like a scam, so told my mum to do an INAD.
Item not as described.
Wolfman's Goodies. Hi, Wolfman Goodies.
Welcome, Wolfman.
Howdy, everyone.
Exactly, Dan, exactly. They've got to keep the shareholders happy.
Alan Starbucks is with us. Hi, Alan. As a private seller, eBay used to pay the next day, but now are holding the money back and saying that they will pay 4 times a year unless you claim. Is that where eBay is getting the fees back?
They're not really. I mean, the only thing they're getting out of that is they're keeping money on the site, or they're keeping it in their bank account. And what they're hoping that people are going to do is use it as a pot of money to then spend on the site, which is what people on Vinted do. A lot of people, myself included, has done it in the past. Just leave your earnings in Vinted and then re-spend it on other stuff. And I think that's what eBay want you to do.
So where's that coming? That they're only going to pay out 4 times
I don't know.
a year?
I don't know about the 4 times a year. I've not heard of that, Alan. I've not heard of that. Where have you heard that from? Because at the moment it stays in your wallet, doesn't it? And you can request it whenever you want. I don't think they'll do. I don't think there's any chance. They'll never do 4 times a year. I don't believe that.
Chris Tyler, 46, laugh out loud, and the rest.
What?
You think he's older than 46?
Of course I'm not older than 46.
Oh dear. The Flipping Wall says, I'm loving the first year of reselling, tempted to go full-time next year as my job is wrecking me. Well, that's how it starts. You start it small, you build it up, and then you'll hit that point where you're ready to take the plunge. And ultimately, what have you got to lose other than it might not work and then you just have to go get a job again?
Yep, Resell Anything says sometimes you just got to take the leap. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, do that. Go for it. That's what I say.
Sophie's Vintage wants to do it as well. I've been trying Flipping Wolf, but not there yet.
I saw Flipping Sloth found a flat Eric. I've found quite a few, actually, Chris. I don't normally find all these things that trend, all these bolos and stuff, but I've had at least 3 or 4 flat Erics.
Lisa said maybe people think things are going to be expensive when hung up on the car and don't bother to ask. There is a chance. There is a chance. But it just seemed unusual because it was a nice item. It was a nice top as well. Flipping Wolf said, did you ever sell the Ghostbusters Ecto Trap that you had?
Ecto Trap.
You really enjoyed finding that.
Ecto Trap. Echo Trap. I don't remember. You
Was
remember
it the
that?
one where you put something in it and then smoke came
Oh
out of it?
yes. Oh yeah. That went like straight up. I don't know what I got for it, but I got some good money for it. Went very quick, that one. I was dead happy with that though. I nearly kept it.
Sophie says she loves her little van. She stayed in her van even in November.
Yeah,
It's,
sod that.
do you know? No, we would.
Sod that.
We
No.
would. Of course we
Give
would.
over. I'm
We
not sleeping in that in November.
We would sleep in it. In
No
November.
chance.
We just haven't got time.
She wouldn't.
I would.
You wouldn't.
I would.
No way.
I don't know. Peter says, Chris, are you doing a follow-up video to your vintage wholesale fail?
It depends what the outcome is. If it's an interesting outcome, I'll do a follow-up, but if not, no, probably not. Unless they come back and say they're going to refuse to do anything, and then I'll kick off and I'll tell them that it's going all over YouTube. I'll use my YouTube clout at that point.
Dan says that he mentioned renting the van 2 months ago.
He
so
did.
That might have been where you heard it.
Maybe.
Lana says, I'm sure you will sell the van. You just need to find the right person. People may not be spending big money just before Christmas. All the car dealers I watch say December is dead for sales.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it right now, Lana. It's up for sale, and if people are interested, they'll save it until they're ready, and if it's still there, they'll come to me, and I'm not bothered. I'm quite happy to keep it at the moment. Still enjoy driving it.
Reseller Josh says, I never leave anything in my vintage account.
I tend not to now. Now that I've got a pro account, I don't leave stuff in there because I just think to myself, you know, they're going to block my account at some point, or they're going to tell me I can't withdraw. Not that there's anything in it anyway.
Kez says eBay will get tons of interest. Some people will probably never remember to claim it back. eBay has to change to keep up with competition. Big Al says, guys, can we consider a formal group of eBay resellers like a corporation such as an alliance of online sellers UK membership that represents us all and protects us all from stupid policies killing us?
Sounds very complicated.
Sounds like something that you need to head up, Big Al.
Well volunteered. In an ideal world, we all have enough money in eBay shares that the profits pay for the fees.
That means eBay are paying for your fees. Alan Starbuck says, from eBay's terms and conditions, maybe it's just for private sellers, Chris.
Yeah, it's definitely private sellers. If it is anything, it'll be private sellers. They definitely wouldn't do that for business sellers.
Limelight says, have you bumped into Andrew Monumental? Now he has moved nearer to him. What do you mean bump into him? He was lifting a fridge into his house the other day.
The heaviest fridge. Have you seen that fridge on his timeline? That Smeg fridge. It weighed a ton.
Luckily, it was only going into the conservatory at the back.
Jesus Christ.
And then he gave us a little show. He's got a nice place. It needs a lot of work doing to it. He's got a lot of DIYing to do. But once he gets it done, it'll be really nice.
Resell Anything said I stayed in mine in November, but one morning was freezing, so that's it till May. I don't blame you, to be honest.
To be fair, when we went up to see Oliver and little Steve with Steve and Lana, that we don't speak about it because Lana's still traumatized after sleeping in a tent. It was cold that night, wasn't it? And we struggled. We struggled to get warm, and that was September. It was like September. So yeah, maybe we'd need like a little heater or something to keep us warm. If we did sleep in it in the winter months.
Paul and Julie said I don't sell on eBay anymore. I do better on Vinted, so sold over 40 items so far. That's good. Well done. Whatever works for you. Everyone's different. We all have different businesses. We might all be resellers, but we all operate completely different and we all have different needs.
Well,
so
the bottom line is you've got to be selling what people want to buy, ultimately.
An idea for next year, invite top sellers in the country to a barbecue. It would make a great video.
Big Al's. Big Al said he got kicked off Vinted because his pictures were too professional. They stated he was copying pictures.
Yeah, there's a few people that have had that. I've not had that. My pictures must be shit, but yeah, there's a few people that have had items taken down because they think that you've stolen the pictures.
Reselling things said he's had over 500 sales now.
Nice. I need to say a big thank you to Joan as well for tonight's duck race prize. Thank you, Joan. She's donated 2 Christmas duckies, and she's going to send some Christmas chocolate along to the winner as well. So a really nice prize coming for somebody who wins the duck race tonight. Thank you, Joan.
Paul Rose says, Chris, I laugh at the Smeg fridge. Recently moved my original Tron arcade machine. Now that weighs a ton and nearly killed me, and it was upstairs. You used to have an arcade machine, didn't you?
Yeah, but it wasn't a big one like that.
No.
But I remember years ago when I helped my brother move his snooker table, and those things are like solid slate tops. Bloody hellfire. That was, neither of us, and he's pretty strong, could really struggled lifting that. It was the heaviest thing I've ever lifted in my life, that snooker table.
Hence he's never said yes to helping his brother again.
Ian said, this year I haven't bought an advent calendar. I've reverted to smashing a different neighbour's window every morning. Nice one, Ian.
Well, not if you're really doing that, but if you're not, good joke. You got a calendar, didn't you? Sticking to our trying to be good eating. I got him.
Well, you're being very loosely trying to be good with this one.
The highest, because when you're clean eating, you can have a little bit of dark chocolate as long as it's 80% plus. So 80 to 100%. And we actually are at the point where you're like 90 to 100 now. We're good with it. But the highest I could get in a calendar was 70. So kind of tried.
Dan said, is ET for sale? There's so many people, Dan, that has asked about ET.
Too much.
There's quite a few people who have said, I want to be first dibs on that. I don't even know who's first at the moment, because when I first showed that ET, so many people asked for it.
Reselling says, speaking of moving, I've got the chance of some free racking that I'm struggling to motivate myself to move.
Oh, nightmare. I hate moving stuff like that.
Kez has asked his ET for sale as well.
No, not right now.
Belle, you're very serious with this.
With what?
With the clean eating. No, we are. Like I said, we hold our hands up and say over the last few months with everything that's been going on, it has been really, really hard to stick to it. But when I say that, it's not that we're not eating, like the majority of the foods we're eating in the house, we're still cooking fresh food and we're still eating our things, and we don't eat pasta, potatoes, what else, rice,
carbs, basically,
bread and stuff like that. We don't eat that on a regular, on a regular basis. We have cauliflower rice and vegetables and everything, but we are treating ourselves a lot more at the minute to like a sweet treat, which is where we're falling down.
Yeah, we need to stop that, don't we?
We do need to stop that.
She says that she bought a Cinnabon today.
But that's because
that's the worst thing ever. That's got carbs, sugar, pastry. We only had half each.
But I only bought one and we shared.
So we just had a taster of it.
I went to see I met my boy in Chester and there was a Cinnabon there and I love Cinnabon. How could I not get it? But hey, it's done. It's gone. It's over. We move on.
Yeah. You might notice all these names coming up on the bottom of the screen. They're all our channel members. Thank you all so much for being part of our channel. It's our VIP membership, and it's $2.99 a month. And if you want to join, you get all these benefits. The main one really is that you can join our Discord group. We are a lovely group of resellers and non-resellers actually in the group. There's not all resellers. And we always help each other out. We put problems, questions, and all sorts in the Discord, and we always try and resolve it for each other. So, yeah, there's no trolls in there. That's the beauty of it. That's why it's a very small payment for the group. We don't allow any idiots in there. There's no trolls. You can say what you like, free of being trolled by Facebook keyboard warriors. So if you want to come and join us, join our band of merry men and women, then there's a button below the video that says join. You can find out more information. It's $2.99. Thank you so much for everybody below for being part of our group. I've had to do it like this now because we've got I think we've got about 50 members now, which is fantastic. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it.
Once they said they splashed out and got a rum advent calendar this year.
A rum advent
You'll be
calendar.
very merry every day with that.
That's mad.
Paul Rose says, Chris, I had the near life size ET stunt puppet replica. He sold that on eBay years ago. Sounds
Nice. That
interesting.
does sound interesting.
Elaine Park's daughter's got a gnome chocolate calendar.
Oh, okay.
Sophie says, I was proper sweating carrying all the boxes down my stairs and the flat to the car, done my workout today. Well, Chris has done his workout today, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Chris is trying to improve his...
My cardio health.
Cardio health, because I don't know how else to describe it. And as your Christmas present to yourself...
Well, you've paid a little bit of it, haven't you?
I'm going to be contributing to it as a Christmas present. You bought one of those fancy exercise bikes, haven't you?
Yeah. A spinner with a TV screen with all kinds of classes and stuff on it. Yes, the other day I was riding through the French Riviera.
He come down before and he was putting his shoes on. I said, where are you going? He went, I'm going for a bike ride. And then pondered off into the conservatory.
My idea is to do 30 minutes 5 times a week. Just 30 minutes on a proper class where you do push yourself. I was sweating my tits off yesterday on it. And my legs are aching a bit today. I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling it a bit, babe. Feeling it. I need to be careful I don't pull the groin.
He said to me when he was getting it, he said, do you think you'd be able to do it? And we very quickly was like, I don't think so.
We could take the resistance off and you might be able to do
and
like
then
5
what's the
minutes.
point?
Well, it gets your heart rate going a bit, doesn't it?
I can do that walking up the stairs.
True. Oh, take that banner off. Thank you again to all our channel members. Big shout out to you guys.
Paul and Julie said they've got an ET for sale on vinted.
Oh. Paul says, damn no idiots.
That kept me out then. Sophie says that she did a short video of the storage unit, but she thought it'd be boring.
Well, it's part of your journey, isn't it? So you know, why not put it up? Because if people follow you, then they want to know what's going on and what your journey consists of. So,
Big Steve has joined us. Hi, Big Steve. My God, why aren't you in bed?
I know. What time is it?
I know.
It's 9:15.
I know. Kez says, bet it will be on eBay in a few months, that bike.
You know what? You never know, because I do go through fads. I go through ideas, like the van. Mind you, that was a joint one. But I go through sort of fads where I think something's a good idea and then I kind of fall out with it.
And I've said this before.
I can only try.
I've said this before. If he mentions something more than twice...
So boring, this.
But it happens every time.
No,
if he mentions it more than twice, I know he's serious about it. So after the second time of him asking me about what I thought about him getting this bike, after I'd already told him no twice, I'd already said, you're not going to use it. It's pointless. We haven't got space for it. He came back and was like, I really want the bike. So now we're getting rid of the dining table.
Which we don't sit on. So it's fine.
We're getting rid of the dining table so it'll fit in the conservatory, because at the minute, I work in the conservatory and now I've got this bike invading my space. You know, after he's taken over the whole rest of the house, I have a bike. But yeah, we'll see.
There's a chance of it. But at the moment, you know, I'm like 4 or 5 days in. I'm enjoying it.
Steve said, come to the gym with me.
What? Yeah, do
a 45-minute trip every day.
I don't even, the whole reason I got a bike, Steve, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to interact with people. I just want to sit in my conservatory on my own, riding the bike.
Yeah. Sophie's Vintage says, pull your groin, don't be stupid, Chris. He's 46. He can pull anything. He can just roll over in bed and pull or something.
The number of times I pull my neck now. I pull my neck all the time. And normally it's something stupid, like doing my laces or picking up a bag. Oh, there's my neck gone for the next 3 days.
Sophie's clearly younger than us. She's not reached that age yet. Elaine says her daughter goes to the gym, but she's strained her back, so she's going back in the new year. Gary Ballard has joined us. Hello.
Hi, Gary.
Ballard.
Question from Scott. Have you ever shared your listings or YouTube channel on Pinterest? Yes, I always share my YouTube channel on Pinterest, Scott. Every single video I put on there. I have shared my eBay on there occasionally, but not often. But definitely YouTube, definitely.
Paul says he used to go to the gym every morning for 5 years. After 12-hour night shifts, I was fit but always ached.
Yeah, I'm achy right now.
I used to go to the gym all the time as well. I used to enjoy it. Lana says he spent money now, Belly will make use of the bike.
Yeah, I'll make use of it until I get fed up of it, and then I'll sell it.
Kez says, do you do the next live on the bike? Maybe we should do like a charity show with you on the bike and see how long you can go for.
No, because I look like a dickhead.
Even a cycling. Are they running pants?
No, they're cycling.
No,
whatever. They're sports pants.
They're running pants. So he wears his running.
What do you want me to do? Go cycling on jeans? You want me to go on jeans?
Comes down like he's going to go out for a jog.
Yes. Well, if you go to the gym, do you just turn up in your normal stuff like what you're wearing there? Do you do that? Oh yeah, of course you do.
But you're not leaving the house.
Yeah, but I'm doing something that's going to make me sweat. I've got to put something as suitable on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sophie says, I've got a PT at the gym now. Chris
says, surely the only thing...
Chris pulls in bed is bell. Woo! If he's lucky, which isn't very often. We've not said we're both in our 40s and knackered.
Yeah, that's it.
Phil says, a mate of mine is a professional esports cyclist. He wins some serious good money in
there
races.
There you go.
Online.
See, I might enter one of these races.
He's just told us that he got sweaty driving on an indoor bike for 30 minutes. I don't think so.
You know, when footballers, like, you know, when you did play Sunday League football, and then when you get too old to play Sunday League football, you do walking football.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, you could sign up with that PT that Ricky resells and John Luke use. Chris cycling on a live sat on an egg. Oh my God, I would do that with you, Chris.
What? I've missed something.
Is it? She's talking about the professional esports cyclist.
Oh.
Once love with your jeans tucked into your socks, of course.
Nope.
Oh.
Won't happen. I don't do cycling shorts. No chance. I did actually I did on a video once, didn't I? Did I put? Do you remember when I put that cycling outfit on a video? I'm sure I did that on a video.
You did that. It was awful.
I did do that on a video.
Do you know the all-in-one like recycling things? He put one of them on to test to like because you put it on eBay because you said you needed to show it being worn. So he put it on and made me take a picture of him. It was awful. Oh God,
Dan, if you've watched my channel, you will know I'm probably not short of the odd cycling shirt. I did buy 500 of the things, but thank you for the offer.
Big Al said he'd pay to a charity to see you in cycling shorts. Mallet's Mallet while Chris is cycling. Oh, that'd be funny.
Exactly, Paul. Exactly, yeah.
Oh, no, not esports.
Why
on the bike, she'd join you on the bike.
Why is everyone taking a piss out of me here? I'm trying to improve myself.
Because for the first time since you've been doing these YouTube channels, you're actually saying you're exercising.
Yeah. And you know why? Because my dad got to this age and he suddenly let himself go and developed, you know, quite a large belly.
Yeah.
He let his health go. And I don't want to go down the same route because we've got the same genes.
Well, you haven't. Yours are smaller.
We have the same genes, and there's a chance that I could go down that route, and I don't want. I want to look after my health.
Yeah, to be fair, your dad had diabetes.
He had everything going under the sun, and it was.
Yeah, you haven't got much chance, have you, unless you look after yourself.
No, I have to break the Hayden trend.
Yeah,
and I'm getting to the age where it could go one way or the other.
They're all sugar monsters too.
They definitely are.
Lisa says she remembers that for your eBay listing. Paul says, no, just no lycra or budgie smugglers. Onslove says, hang on, do you want a bike just to justify your cycling shirt death pile?
Gary's got a point here. I'm getting a proper hard time with this. Just because I want to improve my health.
Oh. So says, even I've got some bloody cycling jerseys from Chris.
Most people have, so whenever people buy a bundle off me, I always chuck a couple of cycling jerseys in them.
Just to get rid of them.
I had too many. I think they've all gone now.
You had too many?
I think they've all gone.
You know when he says he goes through fads? That was one of them. Just because he bought like 6 cycling jerseys at a bloody vintage wholesale and they sold really well, he thought he'd go buy 500. Oh yeah, we did this with Chupa Chup cats. What else?
Do I need to just leave? Do I need to just leave because right, everyone's just taking a piss out of me for everything now?
Emsdem got some too.
Hang on a minute. You got yours free? I sent them free cycling jerseys. You can't complain at free, even if you didn't sell them.
Hi, Vinyl Nuts.
Giuseppe says, any idea how to
get Pro Vinted verified
with a limited company? No, I don't, unfortunately. I'm a sole trader, but there are people in the chat who have been trying. I don't know if they've made any progress, but if there's anybody who's been trying to get Pro verified and they're a limited company in the chat, give us an update for Giuseppe.
One sub said, that's true, Chris. I used to be very fit from mountain biking, rugby and climbing, but through injury I had to stop, and then in my 40s started gaining weight as I wasn't exercising as much. It is. We all have to work on ourselves or it goes to pot. And Pitco says, all jokes aside, I think most of us resellers that do this full time could use some exercise a few times a week.
Thank you, Pitco.
In theory, he gets exercise because he takes the dog out, or we take the dog out, depending on what's happening. So we do get a walk every day. And it's quite physical what you do. You're lifting and lugging boxes quite a lot. So you're getting strength training. So
yeah, I do get some.
Yeah, so it's not like he has no exercise.
Don't really get the cardio, and that's what I wanted.
Walking the dog once a day for half an hour is
not cardio.
Some cardio.
No.
Better than nothing.
I want to get the old ticker going. I want to get that moving. That's what I want to do.
Keep things in control.
You watch next week. Belle will be coming on saying that I've dropped dead on that fucking bike. It'll be the death of me.
I always said exercise is bad for you. Life in the first, and I said, trust me, Chris, being active for 30 plus years until popped my lung. Until I popped my lung, old age and moobs catches up with us all. Emsden says, not complaining, just joining in. Lisa said she got one of hers from a Whatnot show.
Did it sell, Lisa? That's what I want to know.
Giuseppe said, thanks. Rescue Rescue says, think he palmed last of his cycling jerseys off to me.
Probably.
John says she's proud of her Chupa Chup cat, part of the crew. Dan says cycling jerseys do well on eBay, especially if they're colourful.
You know what? Joking aside, I have made probably the biggest killing that I've made on any product with cycling jerseys. Seriously. Especially, obviously, when I first started getting like properly cycling jerseys, like was just before lockdown, and then lockdown came in and lockdown went mental. Yeah. It was the only time people could get out and exercise was go and cycle, and everyone was buying cycling jerseys. Yes, it's dropped off now a little bit, but if you price them right, they will sell. I guarantee they will sell. I just had so many of them, I could never get to the bottom of the bleeding box. I bought like 3 or 4 bales. You think a 45 kilogram bale, right? How many cycling jerseys is in 1 kilo?
When they squish them.
No, the weight of it. How many cycling jerseys in 1 kilo? At least 6, maybe 7. They only weigh about 150 to 200 grams. A cycling jersey. So multiply 45 by 6. That's 300 roughly in 1 bale. I bought multiple bales of these cycling jerseys. I was flooded in them. And so it's only been recently that I've got to the bottom of those boxes and I've been selling them off.
We even tried doing a car boot with just cycling jerseys to try. That was a fail.
Yeah, I've been doing them dirt cheap, like pretty much what I paid for them. You know, no profit in them now. I just want other people to go and deal with them. I don't want to see cycling
You've had
jerseys.
Some big hitters, so
I've done some incredible stuff with cycling jerseys. Thousands and thousands of pounds have come in on cycling jerseys. I'm telling you now. If you get the good, colourful ones, lots of insignia, Some of the Sky ones, they're always good. The all-in-ones, the tops and bottoms that are together, they're good. Certain brands are good. Certain, like if it's a known brand, like I had what's the singer?
Jimi Hendrix.
I had a Jimi Hendrix cycling jersey once. It cost me like £1. I got like 80 quid for it or something stupid, you know. If you get the right ones, even the cheaper ones, you can still get a tenner for them. No problem.
Gary says he's got a bad back with all the eBay profit stuffed in his wallet. He wishes. Once I've said, my old bike used to do me harm. It was a vicious cycle. Giuseppe said, also thoughts on starting an eBay store now. I'm a biggish Depop seller, just moved to Vinted, but looking at eBay as have so much volume of stock clothing.
If you sell on Depop and Vinted, I can't understand why you wouldn't be on eBay. For me, right, everybody's business model is different. We've said that, but if you're a clothing seller, eBay for me would have to be number one. That would be the first place I would want to sell clothing on. Anywhere, eBay first. Worldwide audience, biggest platform. Yes, the biggest fees, but you pay for what you get. And I can't understand, Giuseppe, why you wouldn't be on eBay first. Let us know. You've probably got a good reason for it. Maybe it's just fees, but for me, you pay for what you get. That's sales.
Chris Greaves says he searched Vinted multiple times a day, but has only seen a Pro Seller once since it was introduced.
If you search for me, you'll see it on there. Search Car Boot Chris, Pro Seller. George is on there as a Pro Seller as well.
Vinyl Nut says a fit body makes a fit mind. It's true. You will work better.
I hope so.
I hope so. Kezzy's asking again.
Is
ET for sale? Dan says our boxes are stacked 8 high. My workout is customers keep ordering from the bottom boxes.
Oh, you know what, Dan? Oh, it drives me mad that I've got a 6 high. But they are heavy duty boxes, and every time it's like, oh, it's A20, and that's like at the bottom or whatever number it is. My heart sinks. Gary
says beanies and hats, I think that is, etc. Doing very well for them at the moment.
The right time for it, isn't it?
Lisa said, her cycling shirts wouldn't sell, so she got rid of them on an auction.
Fair enough.
Big Al says, where did you get those bought? Bales.
Oh, which company was it? I don't remember the company. It might have been Saeed Vintage.
I think it was Saeed Vintage.
It might have been Saeed. And during lockdown, it's very cheap. The cycling jerseys. The cycling jerseys were very cheap. They worked out at less than £1 each. When you're buying a bale, it's like 50p each or something. They're more expensive now. If you look now, they're about £3 each if you buy in bulk. But during lockdown, very cheap. I was actually filling my boots on those.
Flipping Moore says, where do you find vendors like that though, Chris?
What?
Like where you get your bales from?
Oh, you just have trial and error. Just Google. Working out.
It's definitely trial and error. You've seen some of the errors.
Just Google vintage wholesale suppliers UK and take your pick. There's loads of them. But I can't recommend any, to be honest with you. I can't say that any one is particularly better than any other.
With what you order, isn't it?
I've had some great orders and I've had some terrible orders, and it's so hit and miss.
AC said cycling jerseys are hard to sell unless you have the high-end brands.
Unless you price it right, AC. If you know you've got a low-end cycling jersey, just price it accordingly. You know, even if it's a £10 jersey, you know, price it at £10. Yeah, if you've got the high-end stuff, great. You'll get good money for it. But if it's low-end, just price it or bundle it. Put it in. I was doing bundles at one point on eBay. I was selling like 8 for... I was something like 8 for 40 or 8 for £30 or something. I was bundling them together and they were selling like that. It's weird how it will sell for one person and not another.
Flipping Walls keeps picking up marathon t-shirts because they look cool but they don't sell.
That's the thing.
Vinyl nuts, cycling jerseys, hard work in winter.
Yeah. Winter's definitely not the time to get the best money out of it.
Yeah, Big Al says eBay's number one. Chris agreed with you versus Vinted and Depop. So does Gary, says eBay's number one. Big Al says get some shelves, guys, instead of keep having to go to the bottom.
That's okay, Big Al, if you got the space for it. But
Yeah.
what it is,
He's not
I'm
having any more of the
maximizing.
house.
I'm having to maximize my space, and I can't do that with shelves. Half of my stock room is shelving, and the other half is boxes stacked. That's the only way I can maximize the space. Otherwise, I'm paying for storage, and I'm not paying for storage. So I have to maximize what I've got.
AC said eBay's number one, but they have a 20-year head start, and Vinted is a young company making waves.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Flipping Wolf, I can't sell clothes, buy trainers and hoodies that are proven sellers, but won't sell on mine. My best sellers are cameras, Walkmans, and toys. Giuseppe said mainly at a Nike store at the minute, but I have 200 bales coming of mixed clothing, jackets, hoodies, and sweats mainly. Done 6k sales this year so far, but when I cross list my current stuff, it doesn't get a look in.
Well, the only thing you can say is, are you maximizing your listings on eBay? Obviously, you have to fill in as many of the item specifics as you can, use the theme, get all your keywords in there. I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but if you maximize your listings, like do them properly, there's no reason why, and you're pricing correctly, there's no reason why eBay wouldn't be your best platform, because it's the biggest platform. It is the number one platform, without a doubt.
He did say, but think the mixed bales are much more suited for sure to eBay. Flipper Lee said, vintage wholesale supply, ordered 2 bales. They lost one and refunded me half of the second for quality issues. Have another 2 outstanding deliveries due from them, but they don't know when they'll be sent. Yeah, these all sound like familiar issues.
Yeah, and the issue with vintage wholesale supply specifically is they operate on a pre-order basis. So basically, when you order with them, you're not ordering stuff that is in stock there and then that will get dispatched that week or whatever. You are ordering for a date in the future when that shipment comes in from their container load, and then it gets sent out to you. So basically, they are taking your money so that they can order their shipment, and then they don't dispatch it until it arrives. It's a bit shitty, to be honest, on vintage wholesale supply for that, because it's very difficult to manage your cash flow. Like, you're paying and you're not getting stock for 6 weeks, 8 weeks sometimes. So your stock flow is gone, your cash flow is gone, and you have no stock for several weeks. So that's the bad thing. That's one of the big bad things about vintage wholesale supply. It's very hard to manage your stock levels and your cash flow for that reason.
Giuseppe said, would you say it's worth paying for the store on there too? You have a store, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What one would you recommend? I know it's very good. And I know a very
depends how many you're listing.
Wholesaler I work with directly overseas. If you need product too, can drop a DM if you like.
Oh, thanks for that, Giuseppe. That's very kind of you.
Lisa says, I'm also waiting for an order from Vintage Wholesale Supplies. One of the things that Chris finds that we've done previously, which is better than going to like ordering from that, is doing the handpicked.
Handpicks or video picks are always going to be better, but more expensive than.
But at least
you're
guaranteed, you better guaranteed the quality of what you're getting because you're picking it yourself.
Yeah, I've done a lot of hand picks in the past, and a few videos as well. So if you've got a wholesaler that's relatively close to you, maybe an hour, maximum hour drive, depending on how far you're willing to go and how much you're willing to spend, you're willing to go further, but ask them if you can do a hand pick. And if they can't do a hand pick, would they be willing to do a video pick with you? Video pick, not quite as good because you can't guarantee counterfeit or not, because it's very hard to see on a video whether something's counterfeit or not. And condition, you don't always get to see. Obviously better holding it in your hand and looking at it. But yeah, if you can do video or hand picks, always going to be better. We're actually meeting a potential new wholesale supplier tomorrow. We're going to meet them and have a look at what they've got, and it might be one going forward that I can use more often. So I'm hoping so. But
so I said she did 2 vids on vintage wholesale suppliers. Don't recommend. She said she did a sponsor with Fleet, but never got the order.
That's not a great sponsorship, is it?
No. Flipping Wolf said, last question, Chris. Since monetized on YouTube, my views have dropped off a cliff. Is there any other sources you can use on your videos other than Pinterest?
I just share as much as I can with the videos. I've always put them on my Instagrams. That's about it, really. I think I said to you on a comment recently on one of your videos, Scott. I said to you, have a look at your recent videos. Which ones have the most views, and focus on that style of video. So if one of your videos where you've been walking around a car boot has got the most views on it, then that tells you that is what your audience is most interested in. It's like me when I put out a video now and again. Like if I put an unboxing out, I know 100% it will not get as many views as, say, a car boot video. So I do less unboxing videos than car boot videos. But I do it now and again just to keep things going. Or if I ain't got nothing else to talk about, I'll do an unboxing video. You know, I look at the channel and I think, which ones are the popular videos and which aren't? Sometimes I put a personal video out, like the Jurassic World video. That's done terrible with views. Well, that's because most people are subscribed for reselling. And so it's not always the case. Sometimes I put like a personal Chris and Bell video out and it goes through the roof. In fact, some of the most watched videos on the channel are not reselling videos.
But that was pre-reselling.
Most of it is pre-reselling. Yeah. I've got some big ones, like when we've done like Christmas events and stuff, they've done really well. But I don't recommend you mix up your channel, by the way. Nobody in here.
Well, we've got a Christmas event coming up on the 22nd, which you can video, and we'll see if we can test that theory.
That is something I don't recommend, is mixing your channel. Ours is mixed, and it's never going to change. I mean, we may end up changing the branding of it at some point, but I never anticipate not putting multiple stuff up. We're done, you know. It's not going to change my channel, but I don't recommend mixing it up.
If you're new and you're starting,
on YouTube, or if you're relatively young on YouTube, don't be tempted. It's very tempting to put other stuff up, but don't.
Also said the videos where Chris screams like a girl seem to do well.
Yeah. Don't be tempted to mix your channel unless you're too far gone with it. It never ends well.
Sophie says best that she's uses CM Retro and Pre-Love Kilo, and Resell Anything says just wait till Chris has too much stock and then you're becoming a vintage wholesaler for people. AC Global says taking money up front is a certain sign of a struggling wholesale company. My wholesaler only takes orders and payment when the stock leaves the UK holding area and you get your bail within a week.
Yeah, that's what they should do. That's what it's very, very frustrating the way that vintage wholesale supply work. And very frustrating. You literally pay and you don't see nothing for weeks.
Hi, Babs in the attic. We're going to be going shortly, but thank you for joining us. McRib said most of Chris' YouTube videos come from his promos on OnlyFans. Big Al said, guys, remember your shorts and reuse of the short videos. That has grown my channel massively. Recycling shorts is vital.
I've started recycling some older car boot videos and turning them into shorts, and they've done quite well, some of those. I'm going to continue to do that. The only issue is, Al, is finding the time to do it. I've tried finding some people like on Fiverr and that who you can pay to give them like a link to one of your videos and ask them to create a number of shorts from it. But it's not worth it for the cost involved. It's not worth it because I'm not earning enough from YouTube to warrant that cost. I'm earning something, but I don't want to spend all my earnings on YouTube paying someone to create shorts. It's finding the time to do it amongst all the other stuff. That's the issue.
Oh, Gary, we can't do that one. Favorite three reseller YouTubers.
I'm not doing it. No.
There's too many.
And everybody brings something different to the table as well. That's the thing.
And we have more than three people that run channels that are now really good friends as well. So how could we even put them into an order?
No, I can't do that. You give us yours, Gary. That's fine. You can give us yours, but we're friends with too many people in the community to do that.
Right, we need to get the thing. I noticed that you've kind of just brushed over the fact of how long
I've been waiting.
How
I
long
literally
I'll go. Why do you have to wait for me?
No, because it's you normally that goes.
We are. I'm not in work tomorrow, but we are up super
We're up
early.
early, yeah. Let me get to the bottom of the chat, and then we will
We're not.
do
They
the
keep
duck
talking,
race.
so we're
No,
not.
when I'm pretty much there. We can't ignore people.
Big Al says his is mixed in nearly 5k subs with 2.5 million views in only 16 weeks.
That's good. It's good going.
Very good. Soph says I do reselling and just a bit of my life with van, but does coincide with reselling as when I go out in the van, I look for charity shops
see,
too.
if you can make the link, it's not so bad.
Vinted Casual has joined us. Hi, they said,
Hello.
Personally, I prefer unboxing haul videos to car boot videos. The unboxing vids are from wholesalers I'm looking at rather than car boots local to YouTubers I'm not likely to visit. That's true.
Everyone wants something different, don't they? But I always, if you look in general on YouTube for reselling videos, the car boot videos, the treasure hunt, where people are looking for stuff and finding things, that is the bit that most people want to watch. And most people outside of the reselling community, because that's what really where we want our videos to be viewed from. Because once you get people who aren't resellers watching your video, that's when your numbers go through the roof. Because the reselling community is relatively small. If your videos can hit the algorithm on YouTube and reach people that aren't subscribed and reach people that don't do reselling, then you're onto a winner.
Gary says, okay, 4 then. This will be race number 141. Not seen Lindsay and Alvin around for ages. No, we haven't. They've got a lot going on in their personal life at the minute, and it's positive stuff, but they're having to put their concentration elsewhere, which is fully understandable because family comes first. But yeah, but they're okay as far as I'm aware. I've not spoken to them for a little while. But yeah, they've just got some good stuff going on.
Life in the First Lane says favorite non-reselling channel, maybe a holiday and car based one.
That's a bit easier because we don't follow many of them.
I do.
Oh, you might do.
Babs has joined us a bit late.
I said in the attic, and she said she's not in the attic anymore.
Yeah, she's sold up.
I knew you were looking at getting a buyer, but obviously I didn't know that had gone through. So yeah, next time I'm down that way, which
she either sold up or closed up. I can't remember.
No, she was last time when I've met Babs. Babs is lovely too. She was talking, saying that there was somebody interested in buying. So right. I'm assuming that's where you've gone down the road of selling, hopefully. But yeah, next time I'm down in that location we work, I will certainly call upon you, Babs.
John's popped in. Hi, John. Welcome.
Just making me laugh now. When I met Babs, I did one of them girl things where I arranged to meet Babs. Never met her before, but I was down Devon Way for work. So we planned to meet up after I'd finished, and I completely forgot because I'd got a little bit lost trying to find her, that when I did meet her, I never let Chris know that I'd met her, that I'd met up with her and I was all right. And then I left my phone in my pocket and we just literally got on like a house on fire and started putting the world to right. And about 3 hours later, I got a message from Chris going, "Are you alive?" Because I just, for all he knew, I just met some random person from YouTube.
Exactly. Exactly. Right, I'm going to get ready for the duck race, babe. Are you... Right, what duck race number is this?
141.
141. Right, are you ready to do the commentary?
Oh, she sold up in the end.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, she sold.
Sold up.
John Shepherd's joined. He said, by the way, 2-0.
I know, yeah.
What's that?
City game yesterday.
Oh,
City Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah, all I can say is 4 league titles in a row. It has to come to an end because it's impossible, John. It's impossible to do 5.
He only comes to rubbing the results. Babs says it was so funny. I'm not so sure Chris thought it was funny on the other side when he was panicking, but then he also knows what I'm like. So, yeah. Just before we go into the duck race, I will give you a very quick update because you might have noticed I'm in a slightly better hyper mood today than I have been recently. And that's because my sister is finally coming home from hospital. She's finally been released. She's had a really, really tough 2 weeks. after her operations, not particularly with the operations, but she was really struggling with sickness and vomiting, and she's not been able to eat for nearly a fortnight without throwing everything back up again. So it was a bit worrying, and she was getting really, really fed up. I went to see her the Wednesday, Thursday, didn't I? And she was literally messaging us, begging us to just like get her out of the hospital. So the fact that she's managed to eat the last 2 days and they've let her out, it's fantastic. So obviously not the end of the road. She's still got a lot to get through and a lot to go, but it's another hurdle done with. So yeah, and I'm just pleased that she's going to be home and in her own bed. So that's great news. Right.
Okay. 4 in a row though, John. Never been done in the history of football. Can you say that? Let me show you this as well. I wanted to show you this. Ooh. I want to thank...
What are we doing with that?
I want to thank Tam for sending me this. I was looking for a plastic arrow to use on my photographs for eBay. And you know why? Because I'm fed up of pointing out issues on clothing, mainly. You know, like putting it on the photo, like pointing at it. So I've started using this and it works really well. So what I do is when I'm taking a photo like of a shirt and it's got a mark on it, I'll just put that on the picture.
Where is Tam?
I don't know, actually. I put that on the picture and I point and it points out where the issue is. And it works really, really well. So thank you, Tam, for that. I was looking at really for a plastic arrow, but when he sent me that, he showed me a picture.
I just want to put it up, you know. I was going to put it up, you know.
And he showed me a picture of that and I thought, that is going to be perfect. So it's much better and much more professional than sticking your finger on a picture. And also, before we do the thing, I want to share this.
That's a well good idea.
I want to share this as well. I was fed up of, you know, those cheap, crappy lint.
Where are you based?
Lint North Wales, John. You know those crappy lint removers that you get from like pound shops and stuff? Mine broke the other day and it was crap anyway. It just didn't work very well. I went on Amazon. I thought I'm going to splash out. I spent about 20 quid on this thing, right? It's called Wired Look, or Wired. Is that Wired Look? Wired Looks, right? And it's got 3 settings on it. It goes super fast. It's rechargeable, and this thing is bloody amazing. If you want a lint roller, it's only 20 quid-ish on Amazon. I'm not saying it for you to go and use my link or anything. There's no link below or anything like that. Go and look for this one. It's brilliant. If you want to do a lint rolling in the dark, it's got a light on it as well.
If you want a lint roll in the dark, why would you be doing it in the dark?
It's got a torch on it. So if you sat there in the dark cleaning up your stuff, this thing is brilliant. Also, you know the crappy lint removers that you get? I always say don't use them on football shirts or don't use them on sports jerseys because you can pull it. You can really ruin a shirt by using one of those. This one, I've tried it on a few American sports jerseys. It's bloody brilliant. It takes all the little bubbles off. Takes all the bubbles off shirts, no problem.
What stuff's got when he said it's fantastic?
And tell you what, this is worth every single penny. And I don't have to put batteries in it.
Just as he does his lint rolling in the dark and naked. Too much information.
Right.
All he needed to do was bring in the pointy finger in that comment, and that would have just been too much. But thank you for the well wishes, guys.
Serious, Dave. Look for one of these.
No, it's not one of them he wants. It's a finger.
Oh, you want a finger?
He wants a finger.
Tam said he's got a few of these fingers. So if you guys want a finger like Tam, then just give him a message and Tam will give you a good fingering.
God. It's a good job he's not here.
Somebody clip that and send it to him.
Yeah.
There's no affiliate link. Seriously.
It's like the shopping channel.
I'm just telling you something that's brilliant.
Sat in the dark with a lint roller, a lint remove roller and a pointy hand.
There's no affiliates on that. I'm just telling you out of the goodness of my own heart.
Oh, God.
Exactly, Kez, exactly.
Yeah, no, I was saying then, thank you for the well wishes, guys. And yeah, definitely Lynn, you know, I think she will recover quicker now. She's back in her own space, which will be good. Fingers crossed. But as we were saying earlier, like health and stuff like this, I know this is only one thing in a whole host of other stuff, but we have to take the wins, don't we? We have to have the days where you can feel good about it, even though we don't know what the future holds. So, you know, today's a good day because she's in a good place and she's going home. Yay!
Right, are we ready for the duck race? Are you ready to do the commentary?
Even though you didn't see the messages of Lizzie slating me, because she was like, this would be so much easier without a giant snow globe to carry. She loves snow globes, so to cheer her up on Wednesday, I took her a snow globe to the hospital, and now my other sister's got to bring it back with them, and a mini Christmas tree.
Right,
come on. This channel's going downhill. Oh, we always hit rock bottom at some point.
let me just make sure that's sharing. Yeah, we're sharing.
Once Love, it's gone so far downhill, it's almost in the valley.
We've got 61 ducks in tonight's race. Are you ready?
You're doing it this week. I did it last week.
No.
Rock, paper, scissors.
No.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yes!
No.
Yeah.
That's that.
No, that's paper.
No, you cheated.
Spock.
You waited until I made a decision.
Spock doesn't belong in
No,
this
you
one. Right,
no, you're
ready.
doing it. You're doing
come
it.
On, ready?
No, because you
on.
cheat.
I don't cheat. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
I win then.
Come on, no. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. No, you're cheating.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're waiting.
You're doing it. You want to go to bed or what?
2 hour show.
Right, you ready? You ready? You ready? Come on. You're doing it. You're good at it.
Really? And we are off. So, who have we got out of the starting line? Well, down at the bottom is the Naked Duck with grey stones. They seem to be flying out of the track, holding up the pack at the moment. AMPJ was at their side, but is now going in the opposite direction. Selsoft took a look, decided it wasn't for them, and so was Tiny Cloud, and now they are off to the back of the pack too. John Boy is bobbing along just at his own little speed, says John Boy. And JFC has just come to the front. We now have 2 Naked Ducks holding at the front. Greystones is just bobbing along down at the bottom, minding their own business, hoping nobody will notice they are at the front. Lisa is just behind them, and then Ali Evans is just above them in the Superman outfit. Deborah Nardone is pushing her way through to the front. She's also a Naked Duck. I can see loads of Naked Ducks today. Phil Higginson is just bobbing behind the front of the pack, along with
Maybe
Lost One.
They need a finger.
Mac Rib is back. He's also there. Real Wales. Okay. Who's that one? Karen Evans is up at the top now. She's also a Naked Duck. And 49 Toddy is a doctor, just in case anybody collapses up at the front. They can help out. Espresso is coming to on. Oh, and Jeff Davis. Is that a Thanksgiving duck? Is a Thanksgiving duck.
No way.
Elaine Parks is at the front of the pack now, along with Sandra Parker and Tracy Davis. We have Tracy and Jeff both with the front of the pack at the moment. Could they be one of this week's winners? Real Wales is making another push through, but not quite making it. Thomas Evans is a clown up at the top, along with Karen Evans. Limelight Vinci is kind of just behind the front of the pack. Jeff and Tracy have both run out of steam and are now moving their way back. Ali Evans, AMPJ, and Real Wales are in it for the last 5 seconds, but this could be anybody's. Who is going to make a run for it? Is it going to be Jeff? Oh, Major! Well done, Nothing Major. That would have been well cool if Jeff had won his in a turkey outfit.
I know, yeah. Well done to Nothing Major. Appreciate you entering the duck race. Well done on your victory.
I feel like Nothing Major has won before.
Yeah,
is Nothing Major?
I think it's a fairly recent win for Nothing Major. But thank you. Make sure you message
Quality
me.
Commentary.
Yeah.
Tracy's a magical unicorn duck. Yes, she
was.
Unicorn
duck.
Oh yeah, sending our love to you, Elaine, for that. Firsts are always so hard. Definitely.
Thank you to everyone for joining us. Nothing major. Please message me on Instagram or Facebook and we'll get your prize. I will pass it on to Jo and she will send it out. You've got 2 ducks and a load of chocolate coming your way. Well, I'm not saying a load. I'm not egging it up too much, but she is going to send you some Christmas chocolate as well. So well done to you guys. I think we are
Pitco
done.
said he thinks his duck was tied up at the start. Maybe. Who knows?
I think we are done for tonight. Have you got a bell end?
No, I forgot.
One job.
Nothing major. Second win. Won a race back in June.
Oh, it felt like they'd won something recent, but I must be wrong. Maybe unless it was one of the other prizes that we give out.
We do only have. How many weeks have we got left to try and get into the?
Oh, there you go. Nothing major's in.
Hi, nothing major. 1, 2. We have only got 2 more duck races.
Is that it?
2 more duck races before our big one on the 23rd. So the champion of champions will be done on the 23rd. So you only have. Oh no, we said we were going to do one on the 23rd and then a champion.
I don't think we can because that one on the 23rd. What will that be included in next year? It will be lost.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
So there'll be no race other than the champions.
The 23rd will just be the champion of champions. So you have 2 more chances to get yourself into that. But yeah, so hopefully I'm starting this week on a high. Hopefully it'll stay that way and it'll stay that way for everybody else. So sending love and wishes for great sales.
Hey, stop it.
And happy health to everybody.
Oh, is that the end?
Bye.
Seriously. Give me a chance to get the thing.
Come on, get with the program.
See ya.
Get with it.
Thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you want to catch up on another one of my videos, you can try one like this or one like this. They're both good ones. Give it a go. Or you can subscribe by pressing this button here. There you go. See you later.